Hello and welcome to Chat Cave Podcast. I was being careful, I almost said the new name. Where we break down and review a movie and, just try to have a bit of fun for one last hoorah. Hoorah! I'm your host, Drinking Thomas Hughes.
I'm Geeky Bear, aka the loser of the group.
That's true, he is. I'm back for the last time.
Last time for a while.
Wow, it's like we could call you Channing Tatum.
Hey!
You're back for just one last hurrah.
Right, 20 minutes gone. Bye.
You the... For fuck's sake. There goes my layout. Oh, no. Come on, bitch, put your camera... There you go. Biggest fuck you ever. Anyway, today we're rounding out the month and Chatter Cave by discussing the final entry before the reboot comes out, which is technically out in America, but it's not out in the UK till like middle of next month. Fuck you for doing that. In the form of G.I.Joe Retaliation. Yeah, it's out now in the US, but it's not till the 16th over here.
You've already watched it on naughty websites.
I have not.
Mm-hmm.
It's
What
not
do
on
you
there
mean?
yet.
What do you mean? Me and Tom live in America.
Yeah, we're both. Nah, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for it to come out. I just want to see if it's as bad as critics have said it is, or as decent as fans have said it is.
I was gonna say it looks okay from the trailer that you sent, but I don't know.
It looked decent. Apparently, most of the complaints is to do like
That's
apparently
what I said. It looked okay.
the action sequences are a bit dicey apparently, and the story's a bit generic. Which, to be fair, both movies have had both movies have so far had generic stories. So what were people expecting? I think people were probably expecting like a Bumblebee moment, like one that can salvage a franchise, but
not gonna happen for G.I. Joe.
Well, for audiences maybe salvage it for them, but not for critics. So anyway, this was released in 2013 by director. What's his name? John M. Chu, who, did some of the Step Up movies back in the day. But he sort of rose to fame recently in the last couple of years, thanks to films such as Crazy Rich Asians and most recently In the Heights. So obviously he's sort of picked up since obviously these sort of mid-card movies to do basically big, well-known, critically acclaimed, audience acclaimed movies. So obviously sort of that idea of maybe these are just like a groundwork. You got to start somewhere, basically. You got to start somewhere.
I'm sorry.
This is why he's not allowed in the new ones yet. Well, until he's got rid of that cough, he's not allowed in the new ones.
No.
But yeah. So obviously he sort of rose to fame since then, and obviously the thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that obviously it's probably a thing that does annoy you as well. The fact that it established all these characters in the first film, and then just ditch them apart from Channing Tatum, who gets, what did I say? Was it 26 minutes?
Like
26 minutes he gets in this movie before they kill him off, which is such obviously
it's such a shame.
It was a generic character in the first film, but I mean you've established him. What's the point in fucking him off? You
might as well just not brought him back.
Yeah, you might as well just doing what you just do with characters.
Well. He worked well with
The Rock.
He worked really well with him.
It's just a shame we didn't get to see a full movie of them bantering at each other.
Yeah, if you're gonna bring him back, you might as well bring him back for the entirety of the movie, and maybe kill one of the other ones off.
The only two that really come back properly is Snake Eyes, and obviously the actor who plays Storm Shadow. They're the only two that actually come back. And obviously the guy who plays Zartan, but you can really count that. It's two scenes of one the CGI face and a second of just him lying on the floor. So can you really count that? And obviously the guy who plays the president, that's it. But then again, he wasn't a major character in the first film, so it's kind of a kick in the balls of establishing all these pre-existing characters and going, oh yeah, so now we've got The Rock, we've got these two new characters. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and Elektra's here before she's Elektra.
I liked The Rock. And he's quite a good character. And I liked Mockingbird. I was going to keep calling up the names of
Lady J.
the characters they've done. Lady J, that's it. But I'm going to keep calling her Mockingbird because that's what she is. But they were good characters. It's more of, it would be nice if to at least have a reference to previous characters, other than just having Magic Mike pop in. I mean, it'd be nice to at least have that.
That'd get my attention more than the taking the shirt off scene at the beginning.
So it would have been quite funny as well if obviously they kept like sort of Marlon Wayans' character and had like Channing Tatum in between Marlon Wayans and The Rock. Like they're all cool. Just like throwing insults at each other. That would have been hilarious to watch.
Like Marlon trying to like join in with the banter but failing miserably.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Trying to like square up to The Rock as well.
And he could have explained like what happened to Scarlett from the first one. He could be like, oh, she's on a mission or something. That's what I could have explained. Like that would have been easy because they don't explain where anyone else has gone.
No.
They obviously the only one that re-explains gone is obviously Channing Tatum's character Duke for the fact that it blows up after 26 minutes.
Yep.
But it's like you don't even know. You don't even know what happens to the main leader guy from the first film.
The general
who was leading all with Joe, the general
Hawk.
We don't see what happened to him.
Yeah. Not explained, is it?
Gone.
Everyone's pretty much just gone, which is a shame. But I will give this movie credit for the fact that obviously, though it does use a couple of sequences of CGI, it doesn't heavily utilise it like the first film. It knew there was issues with the CGI of the first film. And this time, obviously, the only time it really does it is obviously that face change, which only really looked terrible when it showed you the other guy's face. And obviously the jumping around on the mountain side. But that had to have CGI for obviously logic reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, there's no real major CGI present. Obviously, the fireflies, but they're not bad. They're okay.
But the first film, it was very like Spy Kids, but for adults, really.
You never got to slander the CGI in the first film. Go on, slander it.
In the first film, it just looked so like very over the top fake, and everything was all like designed to look like fucking toys. It was really, really bad. I couldn't take it seriously. Whereas in this one, it's a lot more like a normal action-packed film. It just happens to be a G.I. Joe. But they don't have the god-awful suits that they used in the first film. Honestly, I hated. I've got the stupid, like, over-the-top vehicles. We've got that one, like, little assault vehicle, but that at least looked like something the miniature would have.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, being this over-the-top, like a toy. The first film just felt like toys, whereas the second one is more like a normal, like Mission Impossible or fucking Fast and Furious type kind of thing. That the extravagant science. But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it looks better. This one does. It has a better feel to it.
But it's the characters not being there just fucks it up.
Yeah.
But it'd work better if this was a standalone film.
Or if this was or if this was the first movie instead of this other one.
Yeah. But I mean, like, all you've got to do is not mention G.I. Joe's at all, and it's a completely different film. Normal film. And you don't even really need, like, this extravagant Cobra-looking villain. I mean, it's like, if you remove those parts, it's just a normal action-packed film, which I think would work better than it being a G.I. Joe film.
I think with that though, obviously that takes out the likes of Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes, which are a big draw.
They do also kind of work as characters, well. I mean,
Snake Eyes is getting his own fucking movie, so obviously he can work as good a character by himself.
Well, Storm Shadow's in that movie as well.
Well, yeah, but you know,
and Scarlet and Baroness. Basically, some of the characters that are still there. But I mean,
basically,
I understand what you're saying. Obviously, if you got rid of some aspects and altered it, like it would definitely work as its own standalone movie. Probably would get the same response near enough because it's just you're running an action film. But I mean, I feel like the fact they sort of had to do this to round out some of the aspects from the first film. But the fact that the Zartan end credit thing, we needed some coverage of that. Obviously, there was a lot that needed to be rounded up. And obviously, there is some bits left after this, obviously with Cobra Commander getting away, which would then set up like a third movie or something to deal with that aspect. But I mean, that you can just say he's just got away and he's in hiding there. So you can just say that, yeah, it's over now, it's done. Whereas obviously the first one you couldn't really, for the fact that it ended on a cliffhanger. So you needed this second movie to finish off that story. And I'll give it respect, because obviously sometimes these sort of, obviously it's just like a sequel like this, they'll just ignore a lot of that story and just do its own story. But I give it respect for actually carrying on the story from the last one and finishing it up properly.
Yeah. And to be fair as well, like I said, it's very rare that a sequel is actually better than the original. And I think this one is better than the original.
Yeah.
I feel like in some aspects, but I still feel like it just annoys me the fact that they established everyone and just didn't use any of them from the first one.
Yeah, I guess that, but also they weren't even that good in the original. Like the only person that I liked was Marlon, but the rest I didn't give a shit about. So, but I actually liked a lot of the characters in this one. Just to be, I'd see it as more like, I don't mind that the characters are gone. It's more of nice to know at least where they are. But like I said, the film probably works better as the first film, because Tyrone Tate didn't really need much introduction in this film, because he felt like a normal soldier, just like they all did. They all felt like this was own film. It didn't feel like a sequel to a really shit film, to be honest. Yeah.
Really shit film. It gave a 6.
That to me is like shit. Basically,
6 is above average.
6 and below.
ICC is 6 is like generic, basically.
Yeah. Especially for the time it came out as well, I would say.
Yeah.
It's more... Like, when did this one come out again?
2013.
Sorry. 2013. Yeah. Oh, okay. So,
4 years later.
Yeah.
Obviously, they benched it for a while after the only just about getting the money back on the first one. Then again, this only just got its money back as well. I think this earned a very similar amount, which I'll do a quick Google just to double confirm that.
And they thought to do Snake Eyes.
That's why you got benched for so long. They're trying to bring back like some sort of look into it. The first one was a $175 million budget, and it earned 302.5. This one was maximum 155 million budget. Obviously, you have to take into account obviously marketing and shit, but it earned 375.7. So obviously, it earned a bit more because it cost a bit less for the fact that obviously there was a lot less CGI. So the first one, obviously, a lot of that money went into CGI. Obviously, bad CGI for the fact of its time, but obviously there was that incident there. So yeah, I will give credit as well for this. Obviously, I wasn't a big fan of Snake Eyes' mask in the first one. The mouth looks a bit weird. Obviously, they got rid of that mouth now. It's just like a proper sort of like flat surface. So it looks a lot nicer. It looks obviously matches more of the one they've used for the new movie.
Yeah.
So it looks a lot better and looks a lot less weird.
So it's going to be a lot of a smoother transition between this movie and that movie.
Well, obviously, there's a big difference in the new one as well. Obviously, the visor in the new one, obviously, it can come down. It's like a moving visor, isn't it? Obviously, I showed you the trailer earlier for it. And it's like it's a moving visor rather than it's like this part of the helmet.
But it's still going to be a bit of a smoother transition from like the very first one to the new one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he was also definitely quite a good core character to watch. Like, I do think he could carry the entire solo film. Because, even though he didn't talk, it kind of works.
To talk really well.
He looks
it's better.
Oh yeah, it's like
I think it just fits the character and the narrative of him. Yeah,
it's kind of like Mandalorian in a way.
Yeah, but he speaks.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. He doesn't speak that much, and he's pretty much just constantly in the helmet. But they all were like his character works, and even Dwayne Johnson's character work. I think would work as a solo character because it's Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson works.
Whoa! You're missing a word. You're missing 2 words actually.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot be arsed to do the whole fucking thing. Okay. Shut up and go.
I can't say his name without
The Rock.
Shut up, and go watch a Slowpoke orgy with Piplup.
It's not the dinner this time, huh?
Piplup's getting wrecked.
Oh, there goes Alex.
Fuck you, go on, Jesus Christ.
I will say some really cool action sequences in this.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's the cliff fight, which is quite a cool fight. It's quite an interesting setting for a fight on the side of a cliff, or on ropes, just fighting ninja. It's quite interesting. Definitely remind me of what Daredevil pretty much did in the I think it's series 2 on the side of the hospital. Definitely reminded me of that. And obviously, you got the White House fight at the end, which obviously brings Bruce Willis into the fold. Obviously, the OG Joe, and his secretary Brenda.
I do like the action in this film compared to the previous film. But the previous one looked very cheesy. Like, I couldn't take any of the previous films seriously. This one, you can at least this is an action film.
See, I think that's the idea, though. With
realistic kind of fight.
Yeah, I feel like with the first one, obviously, it was sort of... It kind of did what the second Turtles movie did. It tried to, definitely push it as, a kid's movie, but obviously as a 12A, with this sort of, definitely it's exactly from, oh, you love this series, oh, you'll love this, that sort of thing. Whereas this, it took the approach of the first Turtles movie, the grittier approach, which obviously does work. Yeah. But obviously, it still just slightly hinders me with the obviously the complete cast change. That does kind of, because I mean, they could have established them more and still brought obviously the Rock in, and obviously Nico, because obviously they brought Flint in, but Flint barely did anything really. Obviously, out of all of them, the only two that really stood out of the two of main ones obviously was the Rock and obviously Lady J. There's the only two that really stood out. Because obviously she was the sniper and he was obviously the big muscle, whereas Flint come in was in a sense like a Channing Tatum type role.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was basically just like an average soldier.
Yeah, he just didn't really jump off the screen at me. But I mean, Bruce Willis was decent. He brought his usual Bruce Willis charm. Like when he first appears, and he's like, "I'll have some chocolates," and then he just goes all America. Which I'll give him even more credit for just making him a full-on American with that one sequence of him clicking every button in his house, drawers coming out, cupboards opening, chairs opening, beds opening, wardrobes opening. The amount of fucking guns in that house and a fucking urban assault vehicle in his goddamn garage was ridiculous. It was just the purest of American. No wonder he's the original Joe. He's the most straight stand-up American possible. For the fact that gave an extra point for me. It's just that moment of just this montage of his guns coming out, grenades in his fucking fruit baskets.
So now we see Tom's favourite moment.
No, I got a better one there. It's a funny, but there's a moment that just reigns out the two movies for me. But yeah, I was like, for fuck. And I noticed your reaction. You're like, God, that is literally just America. It's literally one scene from fucking Team America. America, fuck yeah! That just needs to be played over that scene. They needs to play that song over that scene as all these guns appear. Oh, it's beautiful. Chef's kiss.
That it was. But you know what wasn't beautiful?
Me.
When they destroyed London. Well, yeah, when they destroyed London,
that knocks the point off there. That takes
they killed the Queen. They killed the Queen.
They may have gone all America, but they destroyed our capital. It's the point's gone. You've lost the point there, G.I.Joe. Yeah. That's gone.
The tweet now, the Prime Minister.
Oh, you can't do it now, Alex. You can't salute now. For people who don't know, when we was watching this movie, me and Hayden saluted as our country was being destroyed. Alex sat there playing with himself.
I was playing Marvel Strike Force because you two told. Well, you suggested.
So he's not patriotic.
No.
You are not patriotic, son. So you can't salute it while we're talking about it. You can only salute it when it's happening.
Yeah, he maybe laughed at the idea that the Prime Minister is sitting there watching all this happen. And he's like, "Wait, is my family in London? Oh shit!" Basically, he's watching his entire family die.
Do you know what would have been
Because
more?
all the fucking.
What would have been more American? No, it would have been more American in that scene.
What?
He blew up either Russia or North Korea instead. I bet that would have been so much more American. The
me thinking you'd say Paris.
Nah. Talking of France. There's a scene in the movie. People listened to it carefully. I mean, Hayden caught them and was like, "Wait, did they just?" So basically, when they're setting off all these missiles and whatnot, and they're all like, "Okay, let's click them all off," and they're clicking them all off, and it cuts to the French one, who's like one of the last two. Obviously, North Korea's the last one, but the French one's actually the French is the first one to click it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the first one.
He's the first one to click it, and all you hear in the background before he clicks it is frog sounds. You just hear like frog rabbiting.
Yeah, like, why? Like, it was so random, and I put it, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Me and Hayden we literally looked at each other and was like, "Wait, was that a frog sound then?"
Because it's not. There's none of that for any other.
Yeah,
countries.
there's no like. I was gonna say because there's no like obvious sort of like racial stereotype with any other country, and there's France with like a cheeky little frog sound in the background. Also, the president was playing Angry Birds.
Yeah, he was.
Which is quite funny. He just sat back while they're all arguing foreign missiles and it is him playing his fucking Angry Birds game going, high score.
I think we can all agree that the best character was Kim Jong-un of North Korea. I say it's Kim Jong-un. It's the idea of like, they got someone to play him. And he just like,
should have got the guy from the interview.
To click off.
They should have got the guy from the interview to play him.
It should.
And then it cuts to the scene from the interview and he blows up.
But that was a funny inclusion. Like, most people always shy away from using North Korea, don't they?
Yeah.
Because the whole plot is they're trying to get all the entire world to disable that, like, to get rid of their nukes, so that they're the only ones with weapons. And the idea of, like, they got to bring North Korea in because of all the people, they're the ones that have got hoarding all the fucking nukes.
Pretty much, yeah.
What's confusing though is like, why would North Korea had agreed to even go?
I say that's what I was confused. I was like, obviously they would never step foot on US soil. Why would they fucking be there?
Yeah. Well, why would they go to a disarmament like fucking conference? They would have fucking like just not gone. Like fucking suddenly invited back saying, "Sorry, we can't come. Got a wedding to go to. Bye." That bit was a bit confusing, but I guess if you apply the Michael Bay logic that we've been putting on for like Transformer films, just fucking watch and let it happen, then it works.
Like that random building, like random wooden shack in the middle of this field where the Rock's like chasing down these giant fucking weird looking machine tanks and he's just like ramming through it. You play the Michael Bay logic, you're fine.
Yeah, I like to imagine Michael Bay. He's finished doing some more Transformer stuff. He's walking over and sees the set for this film.
There's a fair bit of slow motion.
He comes in and goes like, "Do you know what?
Not over the top slow motion, like Michael Bay level, but like a fair bit of it here and there. Like, especially during like some of the fight scenes, like to slow it down, like Snake Eyes when he's shooting like the shurikens. Obviously, that some like slow, not like proper like Michael Bay level slow motion bang, just like a little bit sprinkled here and there, which most films tend to.
They'll cut to complete speed.
Yeah,
like normal speed. Cause it works. The idea of you see him shooting each one, but then it goes back to him still pressing it, machine gun and stuff. I guess it kind of works.
The only thing I can think of for Michael Bay is when we was watching American Dad before, and Steve went bananas.
Matrix dodging.
Yeah, I was like, that's all I can think of at the moment.
That's got nothing to do with G.I.Joe, though.
I will say as well, I like the rain. I like the rain and get as well. Obviously, since this is the last one before the reboot. I like that. Obviously, Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes have like this nice little happy bro ending.
Bruce. Yeah,
for the fact obviously Snake Eyes always believed Storm Shadow was the one who obviously killed his master, but in reality it was Zartan. So it's nice that obviously there's this moment where he's like, obviously he gives him his sword and he's like, gives him the respect and he's like, go finish this without words.
Well, We're brothers again.
Velociraptor.
We just become best friends.
It's a nice like moment for them to like have to end this sort of thing. Well, I will say I'm very upset. There's the actual ending was like building up to like what felt like a Linkin Park "What I've Done" song, and it didn't happen. So that's another negative there. You're just waiting for it.
You could hear the drumming,
the beat of what felt like
Building
what I've done.
up.
And it's like, how do I like me now?
It's like, he holds the gun up and he's like, he's going to go, what? No, he says, he just cuts the black and then goes,
how you like me now?
Doesn't, like, it would be so much better. It's like Michael Bay walked in the editing studio and was like, okay, he put that in secretly.
And then
as about to finish, they caught it like, wait, what the fuck did they done there? They cut it and then just put the whole, how you like me now on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, he's completely ruined fucking Linkin Park for us now. So whenever we hear something building up to sound like similar to Linkin Park, we expect it to cut and then he'd say like, "What I done?"
But
Michael Bay.
That motherfucker's like made me keep listening to some of their soundtrack. So after like sitting through 3 Transformers movies with that as a soundtrack, I just got it stuck in my head. And I was like, "There's 2 albums I keep listening to," and it's just like, please just stop, Michael Bay. I hate you.
Please put me in my misery.
I hate you, but love you at the same time.
Exactly. Every time I literally listen to what I've done, I can just like picture like any scene in my head where it fits perfectly. It's like bollocks.
Honestly, if that actually was the Linkin Park ending right at the end, I would have considered bringing back the Michael Bay Award just for that. But they didn't fucking do it. So it's on you. Michael Bay Award's not coming back now because of you.
It hinders the ending.
It does.
It builds it up and hinders it for you. Trying to think, is anything else to say? You got anything else you want to add before we move on to favourite moments?
I'll add that Alex is a bitch.
Alex, you want to add anything there?
I'll add that Hayden's a...
I'm going to have to beep that now. Okay, move on to favourite moments.
My bad. I went with the bad one.
27 minutes. I know where to cut. That's in my notes to edit tomorrow. Yeah, I think for me, my favourite moment is probably when Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes team up in that one fight. When it's there back to back and the fighting. That was a really nice way to go in. Obviously, that built up to the passing his sword on. And Alex really knows he's fucked up now.
I do. I agree with you on that one. The back touch. It's like the back to back team up. That was good. I think that would be my favourite as well. Because that's the only one I can remember.
That or the America scene. America!
The American scene. That's up there, but, you know, because I do like Naito's character, so. So, Alex? What's your favourite going to be?
Why you turn your mic off, you idiot? Favourite moment? I don't care, favourite moment.
My favourite moment is the apple bopping scene at the beginning.
But with grenades.
Yeah, not the grenade bobbing scene.
One person got topless. Okay.
Yeah, it really pulled my attention to the screen.
It did. It really did. We literally was watching playing his game, and next minute he looked up, and that was it.
I was like, oh, topless man. Yes, don't get to see that very often.
Yeah, you fucking do, you lying bastard.
Talking about Storm Shadow was half. We talking about Storm Shadow was half naked for most of these 2 movies.
And you got fucking the hub on the second screen. Yeah,
exactly. With some of your tabs. Okay. It's time to rate it then.
I think someone's a pigeon.
There you.
I think for me, obviously, I do like the grittier tone it takes, but I mean that little hindrance of the fact that it set up everything for the first film, and then just was like, okay, no, we've got new people now, and the fact that it killed like the main character of the first movie off within 26 minutes was a bit of a kick in the nuts. Also, the what I've done was definitely needed in that end bit, and it does very much hinder there. They blew up London. Come on, you can't do that to us. We you know, it's us. We've actually established. We've given multiple MVP awards for British characters. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But I will give credit for the gun scene. It was really hilarious. And just the round out of the first, obviously the overall plot for the fact they actually rounded it out and finished it. I'll give it respect for that. But I feel like I like the first ones because it was so over the top. It was just ridiculous. Just like, what the fuck? How have they got away with like some of this stuff? But obviously I gave that a 7. I feel like obviously I'm gonna go high, but then I'm gonna round it like down. So like it's a high 6, but I'm gonna round it to a 6. Just for those sort of points of the fact that they established some stuff and then just replaced it like there was nothing and no explanation whatsoever. Like if they explained it, fair enough. I'd probably give it very much the same as the last one. But the fact that they didn't explain it, just like, oh, they're gone, no explanation. You got what 4 or 5 characters. No, they're gone. We've got these new characters here. That was a bit of a kick in the bollocks for. If you like the first one, it's a bit of an annoying. I think in general, obviously for movie logic, it's a bit of a kick in the bollocks if you establish 5 like sort of characters and just erase them without explaining why you've erased them, or like if they just said, "Oh, they're all on like a secret top mission," I'll be fine with that. I'll be fine with that. It's just there's no explanation to where they are. They're just gone.
What you're saying is like it's basically like if the first Avengers film happened, then for
Oh, she's dead.
Except for Iron Man, who dies like.
I thought it was me.
No, it's her.
What?
You keep dying. So you said something about the first Avengers, and then the next one, Iron Man dead.
Yeah, it'd be like if in the first Avengers film they set them up, then in the second Avengers film none of them appear except for like Iron Man, who dies in 26 minutes. Then he's got the new team like fucking Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird.
Yeah, okay.
Like they'd work as their own sort of movie, like, as you said. Don't connect. So, like, literally, what they could have easily done was had maybe this like deal with the aftermath of the first one, and obviously, not obviously bring Shane Tatum back, but then obviously maybe bring him back and the rest of the cast for their own movie, and maybe they intertwine this cast with that. That would probably have worked a lot better.
Yeah. Like they're 2 separate teams. Like one's Team Alpha and one Team Beta.
But their connection is Snake Eyes. Their connection would be Snake Eyes. That would be their like link.
Yeah, because obviously Snake Eyes starts off like not really with them, so they could have been like Snake Eyes with Team A.
Yeah,
and then he comes to help Team B because of Shadowstar's involvement.
Yeah,
that
would have been. Yeah, that would have made it so much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you got?
Oh well.
You're going with them?
Yeah, I would give it a 7 because I preferred it to the previous film, and if I had to choose between watching the first film and this film, I'm going to go with the one that was a bit more gritty and better than the over the top Spy Kids ripoff. So yeah, I prefer this one. Like, it's not the best film out there. There are better films, but it was the better option. I mean, and the fact that you get that whole redemption for fucking Shadow Storm, whatever it's called.
Storm Shadow.
Shadow Storm.
It's in the wrong way round. Storm Shadow. It's the wrong. You've done it the opposite way round.
Because
you're close enough, but you did it the wrong way round.
Storm does sound better.
It just sounds better.
We'll steal that quickly. Put in your notes somewhere. We're stealing that. New character entering the Hero Code universe. Yeah. Shadow Storm.
Okay, cool. Shadow Storm. I'm gonna keep calling that because it's a better name. I liked his redemption at least. Even though it's a bit generic, it's like, oh, it was framed, but it's still the fact they had the redemption, and the whole scene with Snake Eyes, that worked better. So it gives that extra point above the
gives it the edge.
Previous, yeah.
Okay, Alex, what you got?
Same as Hayden. I'm giving it a 7. Yeah, it got my attention a lot more than the last one. Not literally just because of that, but like, I don't know. I just find I like the films with the Rockin'. I don't know why. But he's just very. He draws you in a lot.
I find it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I've seen many Rock movies in cinema. It's fun to watch.
Like the Tooth Fairy.
Even the boring, weird films, he's still good in them.
Even Doom.
Yeah.
He's a shit film, but he's good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I do wish that they kept the old characters from the last one, and then like The Rock could have been like an added party.
Yeah.
In, but
and then maybe kill them. Then maybe kill them off as they go along. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe like they have to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, which would then mean like the other these new characters could then be put into like a third film to replace them.
Yeah. Or at the very end that they have to come and like help.
I've called us some backup. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. And then it could be like some like end game kind of shenanigans of Well
then again, there was multiple times I said the Avengers theme saying like it was kicking in.
Yeah.
But this film has a lot of like music that sounds like it's got a fucking kick in but doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love it. It's the opposite with this one. I was the 7 and last one. It was the 6 and 6 from you two. No, it's the other way around. I'm the 6 and you two are the 7s. Wow.
But yeah.
Okay, so for the final time, until we try and get the last 4 in to get to the 69 rank. That score gives G.I.Joe Retaliation a Chattercave overall rating of 6.7.
Yeah.
It's 6.6 recurring, but there's a 7 at the end, so it rounds up to a 7.
Very true.
Okay, so MVP time. We said for the fact he had the balls to come back and just dive in 26 minutes. Channing Tatum as Duke, you get the MVP award.
Yeah.
Well done, Magic Mike. Well done.
For having the balls to say, I'll do this scene I'll do this for the money. I'm gonna dive in 26 minutes. Oh fuck it. Oh well. And then the runner-up goes to obviously Dwayne Rock Johnson's Roadblock, or Block as they kept calling him, as Alex kept thinking they were shouting Rock over and over again.
I what
the Block is cooking.
Because he's a great addition to this obviously universe, and obviously
he's kind of built for it.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely would have been a character better to lead the first one rather than Duke, because Duke's very generic, where the Rock's got an actual personality. So I feel like he would have been a better choice to lead in the first one, but sadly we didn't get that.
And Channing Tatum is basically the pretty face next to him.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so my question of the day for the final time. Obviously, this has done it, and obviously some other franchises have been doing it recently. Obviously, they've had like installments, and it's all fucked up, and they're going, okay, let's reboot, try something new. Let's do a solo movie outing. So obviously, Transformers did it with Bumblebee. G.I. Joe's now doing it with Snake Eyes. So what other sort of franchises do you think are out there that have had sort of installments that have been a bit dicey you think could get this reboot focused on a character? And a good example I could give you would obviously instead of
Daredevil.
instead of basically like rebooting or instead of remaking like the movies, like obviously just sort of reset some stuff. A good example I could probably give you is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Obviously it fucked up slightly with his second movie. And to rectify some stuff, instead of doing this animated whatever they're doing like next year or the year after, I think they could do a solo Casey Jones to fix some stuff. Like they could always still have it connected, like have him be a cop, but have him like start off as a vigilante and then build up into him being a cop, and then go, you know what? No, I'm going back to my old ways, like he did in the actual film.
Yeah.
So is there any other sort of characters you can think of in other big movies?
Oh, so it has to be a movie, huh?
That could get a solo outing.
I mean, a lot of characters.
Boots and Dora.
Yeah.
It's a stage straight home, it's Machete. Oh
my god, yeah, definitely.
It's live action as well, so he's just like attached like a fake tail and like put some fur on him, and he's just running around with his machete.
I tell you, not really, like, I can't think of any like shit films that require like to redeem itself, but I can think of a solo film that I'd like, but it's from a film that I really do like anyway, because you know me, these are my 2 favourite films. But I would like to see a solo film based purely on what's his face, Colin Firth's character in Kingsman, fucking
sort of
Henry.
Yeah, to sort of redeem his character in the second one.
Yeah, I want to see like either a prequel, like show me how he becomes part of Kingsman, or maybe like after like film showing him dealing with his new injuries and stuff. That'd be quite cool, because Colin Firth.
Yeah,
With a bit of
I get that. That'd be interesting.
Mm.
Like to fix some of the stuff from the second one a bit.
Yeah, because obviously he was very like brought back
But then
down to a lower character.
then got Channing Tatum just without dying.
Yeah, ironically, Channing Tatum fucking pops at the end, dressed as a really, really, really awkward looking suit. It does not work at all.
Obviously, there's one which obviously they were going to do, which brings us back to Channing Tatum, which obviously been Gambit from obviously X-Men Origins. So obviously, obviously they were going to do a Gambit movie, but then obviously Disney got the rights and whatnot, so they scrapped it all. But I mean, obviously, I don't think they could have recast him. They could have stuck with the same guy from the Wolverine movie and done a solo editing I really liked Taylor Kitsch in that movie to actually fix the mistakes of that movie because he was spot on in that film. So a solo editing to fix.
Like Deadpool.
Yeah. That exactly.
That's the basic thing of they fucked Deadpool in Origins, so they did 2 films of Deadpool, same fucking character, same actor, same like thing, but so much more better, more redeemed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Do one based on fucking William's character. No more William. No more William, please.
That'd be funny. I can't really think of any others off the top of my noggin. I could get this sort of solo treatment to fix them.
I'd say like maybe the Green Lantern or because that's
I mean he's a reboot. Like not his character. Yeah, it's more of a reboot than anything, which they sort of are doing with the TV series now.
Well, like what kind of like background character or side character had their own solo really?
I can't really think of.
I misunderstood the question.
You always do.
Okay, I've got one.
Oh, he's got one.
Max Tennyson from Ben 10, like a backstory in Origins.
There is a backstory in Origins.
No, like a proper one, like a proper movie of it.
A live action one.
Basically, to
fix the low budget TV ones.
Yeah.
There is actually an episode where they do that. It shows how he became part of the Plumbers, and it also showed how he saved Vidona, which is basically his wife, who is the big magic space magic alien.
No, I know. I mean, like, if that was a proper movie.
That'd be quite cool.
Or, like, a movie of Gwen 10.
Either Gwen 10 or showing her in college, because there's a whole, like, plot that we don't actually see, where she's basically her college's superhero.
Yeah.
That'd be quite cool.
Because I like Gwen. I like Gwen as a character. I like like her powers as well. Like, yeah, Ben's okay, can transform to like aliens, but magic?
Well, it's not technically it's not magic.
Yeah, it's alien powers.
She's an anodyte, so basically energy being.
Yeah,
and
don't set her off. Please don't set her off. That's going to be for like an actual proper like podcast discussion of childhood stuff. Before I round it out, I got this funny story to say to you actually. When you brought Ben 10 up, it reminded me, especially when you said Max. So recently I watched the Forever Purge, the latest entry in the Purge franchise. And there's a scene at the end when there's like a massive firefight. And in the middle of the firefight, where the characters are hiding behind, is the RV from Ben 10. And it gets shot to pieces and whatnot. And I literally turned around and went, Max would be very upset right about now. Like, he got riddled, he got shot. I was like, what the hell?
To be fair, like, in the Race Against Time, the like first live action film, fucking the rust bucket gets destroyed, like, anyway, in that as well. And it fucking blows up in front of them, and they're like, what the fuck?
I just thought it was hilarious. I literally shouted it out loud. Well, to an extent. I was like,
the amount of times
Grandpa Max is going to be very upset about that. I just thought it was funny. I thought I'd say it since you brought up Ben up. Anyway, that's it for Chatco podcast, and you know, obviously we've stayed. We've got about 4 more in us. Hayden just wants to hit that 69 number before we've round out. So we'll try and get them in at some point. Obviously, all the changes and whatnot, explanation-wise, is within the reboot that's coming next week after this. Obviously, it's all explained now. I explained it for about 5 to 7 minutes straight, just explaining shit, and just explaining how some stuff's going to work, including Hayden's new show. That's explained in there.
What?
If you watch that one, Alex, you'll see. I explained it in the first 7 minutes. Hayden gets her own show.
Which one's this?
The next one after this, you'll see. You'll see. Everything's explained. So thanks for sticking with us for these 65 episodes. Hayden, thanks for sticking around as co-host for 63 of those. You missed 2. One because you're getting pissed. One because you're working. So thanks for sticking around for 63 of those.
No problem.
And Alex, thanks for joining for. I can't remember how many you've joined for. You joined for a few now. I feel like you got to be at least like 15. Something stupid like that. James, wherever you are, thanks for joining for those ones as well. You joined for a few last year.
Wherever you are.
And Connor, obviously, you already know I'm thankful for the couple of you joined. But co-host now, so.
Thank you for being the trash can that we throw our cans into.
So for the final time on the old Chatter Cave, I have been your host, Ranking Thomas Hughes.
I've been Geeky.
I'm gonna fucking follow you home, and I'm gonna beat you up, Alex. And then the violent one who killed fucking Alex.
I'm gonna miss this arguments between you two. I
mean,
we're always gonna argue.
And this has been Chatter Cave Podcast.
I'm going to die.
Hopefully. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.